Nissan GT-R Nismo is one of those cars that will either make you laugh or cry, or both. It comes to the UK with a price tag of £125,000. Its 3.8 litre twin-turbo V6 engine has been wound up to produce 591 bhp, and it has more skirts and spoilers on it than any other GT-R in history, which is saying something. The Nismo GT-R also features a range of chassis, steering, brake and suspension upgrades that, claims Nissan, make it sharper, lighter, more agile and ultimately faster than ever before. The wings alone help it generate an extra 100 kilograms of downforce, while the new anti-roll bars, which are bigger but hollow so that they're lighter, also make it stiffer and more precise everywhere. The results, as you can imagine, are quite impressive.
So this really is the Big Daddy version of a fairly Big Daddy car. I'm going to drive it on the road first, because it is a road car with number plates, albeit Swiss registered number plates on this one, and just see what it's like, see if it feels remotely civilised. Could you live with the Nismo GT-R every day on the road? I'm going to put the dampers in comfort. Engine and transmission in standard, traction control, ESP on, and just there's a really nice kind of classic cross-country B road here, and already the ride feels spankingly firm, I have to admit. The steering wheel is just kind of living and moving around in my hands the whole time. It feels absolutely like a very alive, very wild animal beneath the backside of this car. As a result, it kind of depends what sort of mood you're in, whether you really get off on it or just get a bit fed up with it. I mean, the ride is super firm. There is stacks of tyre noise, but when you put your foot down, you just, oh, that's ridiculous. That feels quite a lot pokier than the standard car. I mean, you count to 3 with your foot down, and then you have to take your foot off the gas because it is totally unsociable otherwise. You just can't drive around like that on a public road. There is nothing like this car. It feels properly He-Man hard, but I think it might have gone just a bit too stiff to use on the road as an everyday tool, and that's a bit of a shame really, because in a way that was its USP. It was just this immensely fast, immensely capable, but also usable everyday supercar. I mean, I know the steering is, you know, kind of lit with energy in a way that's probably a bit OTT for most people, but the flip side is it just has this beautiful precision to it. I mean, it's meaty and it's heavy and there's a lot of movement and kickback at the rim. But my word, you just can place the nose of this car to the nearest ½ millimetre around every corner. That's mostly to do with the steering, but it's also to do with what they've done with the suspension, because they have mucked around with the suspension in a pretty big way, basically to get it to turn in better. And my word, the first time you aim the nose of this car towards an apex in sort of 3rd or 4th gear, blows your mind. It absolutely fires itself at the apex, nails itself to the apex, and then flies through. There is zero understeer in the Nismo GT-R on the road. Okay, I've driven it on the road for a fair bit, and yeah, it's fun and it's just completely, you know, it's hilarious, but it's also as much of a pain in the neck as it is good fun. To really find out just how much Nissan and Nismo have done to the GT-R, we need to go to a track. Cadwell Park's just up the road, so let's go there. Okay, the Nismo GT-R on Cadwell Park. It's a beautiful sunny day. Quite a playground this is for a car like this. I've got the traction and the DSP off. I've got the dampers in stiff. I'm going to put the transmission and engine and whatnot in race. So basically everything is turned up to 11. Flipping hell, man. That is a sizable amount of acceleration. I mean, I've driven a GT-R around here before against a bike. It's just the grip it's got. Flipping hell, man. I can't actually see the speed though because I'm not concentrating on it. I've got one of these GoPros in front of me. Wow. It's the turn-in this has got, compared with the standard car, is just immense. It really is. It just leans so hard on it. Still feels like a big old thing, I'll tell you. It really does. Nice and early on the brakes into here, because it's very easy to run out of room and very easy to run out of talent as well. I wasn't expecting that. Set light through these S's. It rides that curve really nicely. I mean, it's a bit of a wrestling match. Bloody hell, if you want to have fun and speed in a car at the same time, you just end up going towards corners, going so flipping fast. I mean, this is a 1700 kilogram car, right? And it is not running out of brakes. This is lap 3 that I'm on now. That just shouldn't happen. It really shouldn't happen. I can't imagine how a road car could go much faster around this track. I really can't. Nissan have timed this thing at 7 minutes 8 seconds around the Nürburgring. That is just crackers. And do you know what? I think if that is not a trick number. I can really see this car doing that kind of time. I really, really can. Stone the crows. This thing is a monster. Absolute monster. Right. I'm going to have to calm down. I'm going to have to slow down, otherwise I'm going to fall off. God, it makes this track feel so narrow. I mean, it is narrow, but it sort of feels like trying to thread something along a parallel bar. Okay, it definitely feels quicker in a straight line than the standard car. It definitely stops better. The turning is just incredible. There's pretty much no understeer at all. For a 1700 kilogram four-wheel drive road car, that is phenomenal. Bloody hell, you need to know what you're doing to drive this thing properly, but if you do, sort of, I'm not sure there's anything else quite like this still. That is incredible. 2007 they came out with this car. What are we now? 7 years later. 7 years later, and this thing still feels like the king to me. What a car, what an automobile. Thanks, Nissan.